Hey Yogi, welcome to class. If you are new to the channel, I'm Rhi, this is Drakey, and if you are returning, welcome back. We are stoked to practice with you again on YouTube. Before we get into class, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do. And if you enjoy the class, when you get to the end of it, hit the like button, give it a thumbs up, and leave us a comment. Let us know how you got on, or just anything you'd like to see in terms of classes or tutorials, or just whatever you want to say. You could just say, hey, that would also be cool. All those things just help us to grow our tiny little place in the YouTube universe. So thank you for doing those things for us. So I don't think you're going to need any props for this class. If you know you like to practice with blocks, are we going to need them? Just have them handy. I don't think they'll be a requirement. This is going to be a really nice heart opening flow where we were going to explore just a couple of different postures, let's say. So that being said, let's begin. Let's start on our backs. So come down onto your back. And then you can take kind of whatever starting place you would like to take. So it might feel nice to take the knees as wide, the feet as wide as the mat, and just let the knees gently knock in, and then let the arms go down alongside you. Feel free to close the eyes down here, or if you are keeping them open, just try and keep the gaze so it's not sort of fixed on anything, but you're kind of bringing your attention inwardly. Take a few nice breaths here just to arrive at the practice, arrive on the mat, and mark the start of your exploration of your body today. You're joined into yoga asana for the next half hour or so. Nice. From here, draw your knees into the chest and just start to squeeze the knees towards your chest and take some circles. So opening and closing the knee away from you. You could take kind of opposite knee away and draw circles in the hips. So the knees would both fall out and in. Feel that rock up and over of the pelvis. So as you kind of take the knees away from you, feel the pelvis go anterior, and as you come in, posterior. And for no reason other than to notice. It's nice to be aware of where the pelvis is. For me, that's probably like the biggest challenge I have in my practice, especially when going upside down. So, you know, take the win of knowing where it is when you are on your back. Nice. From here, let the left leg go long, draw the right knee in tighter to you, and then using your left hand to draw the right knee over, let the right knee fall over to the left and take that right arm out of its socket. Don't worry too much here about how far that right knee travels. I want you to focus more on the twisting in the upper back. So kind of from your mid back, feel the twist. If you could ground the right shoulder down and prioritize that over the cross of the leg, do so. Feel as if you could breathe your breath into your right lung. Feel as if you could send it there. Nice, bring it all back into the center. Squeeze the right knee in, squeeze the left knee in, and switch legs. Right leg's gonna go long, right hand is gonna come across the left knee to just gently roll over your right hip and allow that left knee to find the right side of you. And don't worry how far that left knee goes. Mine actually never really twists that much. I don't have this huge twist range here. So, you know, if you're the same and your knee's pretty far off the ground, then maybe just let your right hand rest on it. But other than that, just forget it. Don't worry, it's no biggie. Let the left shoulder kind of work towards the earth. So if it's not on the mat, try to just work it there. And then you could look over to that left hand. The hand can face up or down. It's totally your call. This time, imagine you could send that breath into the left lung. Inhaling and exhaling with intention through the nose. Nice. Draw it all back in. Draw the knees in. Give them a really good squeeze in. Maybe take them towards your armpits rather than into the center of the chest. And then rock and roll up and down the spine a few times. So come up to sit and then rock back. It doesn't have to be like crazy big rocks, but feel free to let the feet go up and over the head. Nice. Next one of these, cross your ankles and roll over. Come to all fours. You might have to work your way back onto your mat like me. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders, knees under hips. Start to take some circles with the wrists here, warming up the wrists. We are going to do a little bit on the wrists through the practice, in particular as we explore an arm balance. So, you know, use this as a nice place to get a bit of blood flowing there and loosen them up, but also wake them up. Prepping them for weight bearing. If you've taken the circle one way, take it the other way. Whole body getting involved here potentially. Maybe you're tucking the toes, rolling through the spine, head and neck can get involved. This is really a place for exploration without too much structure. The structure is the quadruped pose and everything else is just what you're doing for you. Nice. From here, come to neutral. On your inhale, drive your heels into your butt as you come into your cow pose. So lifting your collarbones or shining the collarbones through your arms, but really squeezing heels to butt. As you exhale, drop the toes, tuck them, round in through, tucking the tailbone and lift your knees just off the mat a little bit. Full protraction in the shoulders, pushing the mat away. Cow pose. Cat pose. Lower the knees. Inhale, drive heels to butt. Cow pose. Exhale, floating cat. Tuck chin to chest, tuck tailbone, and then lift knees off. They don't want to come too high, just a few inches. Push through the arms, grip the mat with the fingers, lower the knees, come into cow, draw your heels to your butt. I like to really flex the toes as well, or flex the feet here, just to really exaggerate the work. Tuck the toes. Chin to chest, tuck the tailbone under, lift the knees off, cat pose. Nice, and then from here, lift your hips up and away, downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha, Shavasana. Feel free to let one heel drop to the mat, and then the other here, as always, you're just trying to feel out your body here in these early moments of practice. We're not going crazy, not just yet. Nice, it might feel nice to softly bend both knees, let the feet go to the side, so maybe both heels drop towards the right, and then you bend both knees, just getting into that left side body. And then switching it over, dropping heels to the left, bend the knees so that you can push and get into the right side. And then come back to center. Bend the knees a little bit, lift the tailbone. Find your nice Ardha Mukha Svanasana, squeezing your armpits together just to really rotate the upper arm bones. Nice, bend knees as you push forward. In the inhale, come to a high plank pose. On the exhale, bend the knees and roll back, down dog. Inhale, roll forward, high plank pose, squeeze your glutes, engage. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, push off, come forward, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, down dog. Nice, rolling forward into a high plank. We'll take anywhere between 1 and 3 push-ups here. And you can drop the knees, just trying to wake up the arms. And then lower the knees to the mat. Drop the arms, forearms down, look forward. Come through into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Nice. This time rolling forward, we're going to lower for a count of 10. So take the chest long and lower in for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. On 1. Nice. Take the hands into 10 and 2, tenting up into spidey fingers, setting up for Oscillating Cobra. Forehead to the mat. Hips are heavy, feet are pressing into the mat, or the tops of the feet are, I should say. On your inhale, draw your shoulder blades together to pick up the heart, pick up the chest, and finally lift the head. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades together to gather you up and lift. So make the action come from the shoulder blades, from those muscles working together to pick you up. And then exhale, lower. Nice. Inhale, gather your shoulders up, come up. And exhale. Awesome. Head to the mat, arms alongside the body, pinky fingers facing in towards each other, setting up for Shalambhasana, Locust Pose. As you inhale, point through the toes, squeeze your glutes, lift your knees, lift your feet, lift your legs, draw your shoulders together, lift your chest, lift your heart. Imagine your pinky fingers are trying to grab for one another. Let that lift you a little bit higher. Full engagement through the posterior chain. You're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly lower on 1. Take the head to one side. Feel the energy building as we gently start to sizzle through the back. Setting up for side 2. Not side 2, we've only got one back. Round 2. Let the head come to the mat. And then again, pressing the hips heavy. So the hips are the only thing here that are nice and heavy. Everything else wants to feel engaged and lifting up and away. So as you inhale, squeeze the glutes, lift the legs, lift the feet, draw your shoulder blades together. Maybe you want to make fists with the hands this time. You really mean business. Be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let the head lower on 1. Take the head to the other side. I'm not going to because of my mic, but you can. Nice. One more little bit of prone work here before we move on. So from here, as you inhale, you're going to lift your chest up to catch hold of your hands and clasp them. If that doesn't work for you, grab hold of a strap. So if the hands don't meet nicely behind you, get a strap, pop it in between both hands, use that to pull up and against. So clasping the hands together behind the back. And then as you inhale, draw your shoulders together, and lift your head and chest. You can keep your feet down. This is more a focus here on the upper back, the shoulders. Try and keep lifting up away, lifting the neck, lifting the head, and then release. Whew, nice. Feel free to have a little wriggle here. And then from here, plant your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, push up into a plank pose, and then roll back to down dog, or come up through child's pose. So make your way into a down dog. Any way you're going to get here is cool with me. And then from here, walk your hands back to your feet. On an inhale, fingertips to the shins or to the mat. We're going to lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Feel free to pop a little bend in the knees. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift. And exhale to fold. Nice. Scoot your feet, so heel toe your feet out so that you can come into a low squat, Malasana. Take the arms on the inside and just use that to open up through the hips. Spine is nice and tall. Take an inhale. On the exhale, fold over, straighten through the legs. Inhale, rebend, come back to Malasana. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, rebend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale to bend. Last one. Exhale to straighten. And inhale to rebend. Nice. From here, straighten the legs and heel toe the feet back underneath you. Deep bend of the knees to roll you up to stand. Reach the arms up and over, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands through the center line. Nice. We're going to work a little bit into our folding series here. So you can be towards the edge of your mat, that's cool. You don't need to come up too high. Maybe just move a little bit inwards. From here, inhale, reach the arms up, look up. And then spike the heels, so come high onto the ball of the toes here. As you exhale, you're going to lower your hands down through the center line. As you bend your knees, knees are chasing collarbones. Imagine you're sliding down an imaginary wall. Bringing your butt down to your heels. Sitting in this toes pose just for a moment. Try and sit nice and tall and long through the spine. Nice. Slowly lean back enough so that your knees gently plant to the mat. Try and get them to go down together. And then the action here is coming from your lower body, your legs to pick you up. So really squeeze the glutes here. So as you inhale, squeeze the glutes enough so they lift you up and then come up in as much of a straight line as you can. Nice. From here, inhale, reach the arms up, look up. On an exhale, cactus, lift the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach up. Sit back to the heels. Lean back so that both knees will just pop off together. Nice. And then plant the feet as you roll forward into Uttanasana. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Deep bend of the knees. Inhale, rise up. Reach the arms up and over, Urdhva Hastasana. Spike up onto the heels. Try and squeeze the inner line of the legs together. And as you exhale, you're coming down through the center line. Remember, the knees are chasing the collarbones. You're sliding down the wall. The butt will reach the heels, toes pose. Release the hands to allow you to gently drop the knees to the mat together. Squeeze the glutes. Engagement in the glutes is the key here to then come all the way up. Reach the arms up. Exhale, cactus. Reach the arms up. Exhale, cactus. Reach the arms up. Exhale, sit back to the heels. Lean back, draw your knees into your chest. Drop your feet and fold over. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise, root to rise, reach the arms up. Come on to the heels, the toes. Lift the heels. Exhale, hands through the center line. Bend in the knees here. You're sliding down the wall. The knees are chasing collarbones and the butt will go to the heels. Nice. From here, you're going to come into a pistol squat. We'll go with the left first. So if you need to use the toe grip for pistol, that's totally cool, so do I. Or if not, you can have your arms out in front. So you're slowly going to come onto the right foot, lower the right heel, come into your pistol squat. Try and sit up and out of it here, keeping the neck and the spine long. And then if you can, hands or no hand, you'll come all the way up to stand. Don't worry if you are not kind of coming up to stand. You can stay in pistol, that's awesome. And then if you made it up, you need to come back down. Try not to let anything touch the floor other than that right foot. Awesome. Then come to bring that left foot back underneath you, back into that toes pose. Awesome. Both knees are going to come to the mat. As you inhale, you lift up and sweep up. Exhale, your cactus. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sit back to the heels. Lean it back again. Bring the knees into the chest. Hopefully that's getting a bit smoother now if it's not a transition you're used to. And then again, if you need to use the toe grip to get that pistol, then that's totally cool. So you're going to slowly, well, that wasn't slow for me at all, but you're going to try to mindfully drop your left heel, reach your right leg forward. And again, you can stay here. This is totally cool. You can use a hand to help or no hands. You'll come all the way up to stand. Draw the right hip back. If you made it, you're going to have to come all the way back down. There's no kind of hovering at the top. Try not to let the butt drop. Don't worry if it does. And then draw the right foot back underneath you, back into this toes pose. From here, both knees are going to land on the mat. Squeeze your glutes as you inhale, reach up and look up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus. And then inhale, come back to center. Nice. From here, take your hands and cross them over your shoulders. So right hand to left shoulder, left hand to the right shoulder. We're going to do a trust fall here. So I like the toes tucked, but it's totally up to you. They can be untucked. Think about squeezing your glutes here. This is all going to come from the glutes. And you don't have to go back too far to feel work, so don't feel the pressure of that. So squeeze your glutes. Inhale. As you exhale, just start to fall back. Hold it here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly come up on 1. Nice. Release the arms, untuck the toes if they're tucked. Sit back to the heels. Nice. Take a moment. I always find that a lot because front body opening or back bending is personally always like a personal struggle in my practice. So if you are the same, this sequence is going to feel tough, and it's cool to just be like, yeah, it's a tough sequence. So take a couple of breaths here before we get going again. Inhaling, exhaling, inhale, exhale. Nice. So we're going to want to vinyasa from here. So if you are towards the back of your mat, just slide yourself along. So you can come into your vinyasa by stepping back. That's totally cool. Or you can do what I think we call in Awakening the hero's jump or the hero's movement. I'll have to check that. But anyway, if you want to try that, you're going to take your hands on the outside of your knees, really grip the mat like you would for flying integration. So have a little bit of that external rotation through the upper arm bones in the shoulder. And then take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to come all the way down. And then on the next inhale, you'll explode back. So it's kind of like inhale, exhale, pushing back. Okay, so let's have a go. So inhale, lift up, exhale, and jump into your vinyasa. Taking that vinyasa and coming into up dog. We're going to try that again, just so that now you can see what we're doing. So essentially, you want to jump back, and I like to come straight into my low chaturanga or bottom of the push-up, and then take the push-up, finish the push-up, and then vinyasa. So have another go. Hands will go outside of the knees, lift up on the inhale, and then exhale, push back. Vinyasa, drop knees, drop forearms, come through into upward facing, and roll the toes over. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. We're going to take the expansion series again because this is a very opening flow for the front body. So rolling into a high plank, we're going to lower for 10. Lowering for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower on 1. Nice. Hands out into 10 to 2, or you might want to bring them back now to sort of 9 and 3 because, you know, we have really been warming through the back. So take it to where it feels good for you. Lower the head to the mat. Engage the glutes. Press the tops of the feet into the mat, setting up for Oscillating Cobra. Inhale, lift up. Draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. This time, inhale over to the right. Come up, look over the right shoulder. Exhale, down the left. Inhale, up the left, over the left shoulder. Exhale, down the right. A couple of times on your own. Go at your own pace. But you're going up and down, side to side on the inhale and the exhale. This will be my last up the middle or up the side, and last lower down. Awesome job. From here, take the arms long, setting up for Shavasana again. Inhale, draw the shoulders together, lift the chest and heart. Locust Pose. Make this the biggest one you've had. And by that I mean the most engaged and the longest. Be here just for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower on 1. Take the head to one side or the other. This next round we'll either go for locust again or for bow Dhanurasana, your choice. So everyone's going to come in and out of this the same, irrespective. We'll go into bow actively and leave it actively. So as you inhale, lift up, come into locust, stay here, or bend both knees, catch both ankles at the same time, and then kick. Kick the feet into your hands to use that to really lift you. Be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Listen carefully. On 1, we're coming back into locust. So release the legs, keep the shoulders retracted, lift the feet, and then we lower. That's always tough for me. That last bit of going from passive to active is like a real change of gear. From here, hands under the shoulders, push back into sitting on the shins. So a moment for reintegration here as part of our expansion series. So kind of sitting here and taking a child's pose, or just sitting up upright might feel good. That's a great option. Also, you could take a block, squeeze it in between the hands, come into dolphin. I'm going to take forearm balance. So if you want to take forearm balance or Shavasana, traditional headstand, great. So whatever kind of reintegration is calling to you now, then let's do that. You're super open for it, certainly through all of the kind of shoulder work that we've done in the heart opening work. So set yourself up, choose your asana, choose what you'd like to do, and then come into it. Wherever you are, be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly lower on 1. Nice. Come to sit on the shins. Let the head come up the right way. Cool. So we're going to take a couple of rounds of kind of circle camel, and then we're going to try mayurasana, or peacock pose as you may know it. So have a go. Have a go. I think with mayurasana it always looks a bit crazy, but we can break it down and, you know, find some fun in it. Everything that we are doing on the mat is for self-exploration, but also we want to find the joy in that, to kind of quote Patrick Beach, find joy in the challenge, which is often easier said than done. But so we'll do a little bit of dancing camel, just to finish kind of really working through the kind of posterior chain, and then we'll try mayurasana. So, and I'm actually stealing this from the advanced asana course, because I didn't realize that dancing camel was a great way to kind of prep for mayurasana. So this is good news for me too. So tuck the toes, come up to the knees. And then from here, you're going to sweep your right arm up and over and let it land on your right ankle. And then sit back to the heel. Sweep the left arm up and then take a twist, coming in at the other side. So let the left hand land, right arm goes up. Sit back and then switch sides. You could sit all the way down here and kind of sweep the arm around, switching sides if that feels nice. That always feels nice to me. So more of a traditional dancing camel. Nice. Couple more times each side. And then on your next one, come into full camel. So any way you want to get there, you're going to catch hold of the ankles and then really press the hips forward. If you don't like the head going back, that's fair, keep it up. If you do like that, you can have it so that you let it go back, but keep active through the legs, active through the glutes, pushing the hips forward. And then slowly come all the way back up, release the hands, sit back to the heels. Nice. Feel that work whizzing around you. Okay, so from here we're going to try mayurasana. I'm going to show you an entry if it is something that you are struggling with, and that could be down to proportions. So, you know, if you have been struggling with it, we'll try coming into it with the knees bent. It'll just make you smaller, give you more of a chance to lift, and then we'll try it kind of traditional, I guess. So hand placement here, you're going to want to have your hands turned back. So or turned to the side. There's lots of wriggle room there. I like to have them completely turning backwards, so fingers pointing backwards, but this is personal preference. So if you like to have them pointing to the side, you go for that. So what we'll do is we'll roll the shoulders up and down and turn the palms ready. So we're kind of setting up here. So make this a bit of a ritual for yourself, a bit like you would to come into headstand. You'd set the opposite hand to opposite elbow. Make this your little ritual. It's just going to make sure that you set the shoulder blades on the back body nicely and get the hands ready to land. So roll shoulders up and down, arms will go open and then come back together. And then from here, you're going to plant your hands down. Traditional Ashtanga would be kind of like closing the forearms together. That can be really intense for a ton of reasons, obviously. So it's cool to have them a bit open. So, you know, find a hand position that works for you. And this might be, I'm just going to move forward actually. This might be something that's going to take a little bit of time. You might need to pause the video and play with this a little bit. Okay, and then from here, you're going to step the knees back a little bit and start to lean forward as you bend the elbows. And I want you to feel what it feels like to have your belly resting on the forearms, or the backs of the arms. And then come up. So you want to feel like, okay, how is it going to feel to put weight here? Because this is not a usual thing. This isn't something that you would do regularly. So unless you are a mayurasana person that likes to do it a lot, it can feel like a very unfamiliar territory, I think is the place or the phrase I would use. So have a couple of goes of doing that so you know what it feels like for backs of the arms to be flat in and kind of your body resting on them. So let's come into it. So set the hands down, come back, lean over your arms, and then from here, take your knees wide and put the feet together so you can just kind of lift your knees off the floor. If you feel like you're too close to the floor here, of course you could put 2 blocks under your hands, but I just caveat that with saying, make sure that they, and when you're ready, come out. Make sure that they are cork blocks. So I'm always kind of like bagging on the soft blocks because I just don't like them for my practice. But certainly if you're going to use blocks for mayurasana, make sure they're cork blocks and they're pretty solid because you don't want to feel unstable there. So that's the first entry. So having the knees really wide, feet together, or even just bending the knees and lifting them is going to make that maybe a bit more accessible for you. And now we're going to try like full, I guess, extended mayurasana. So as always, make it ritualistic, roll the shoulders, bring the hands in front of you, palms are facing up, and then plant the hands, really grip the mat with the fingers. And then walk the feet back a little bit, come to lean over. I like to go onto the toes and then lift. Be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then slowly lower on 1. Drop your knees, sit back to your heels, and come into an embryo pose or like a kind of a really deep child's pose. Let your arms go, just fall alongside your body. And just relax for a moment. We're just going to take the spine the other way. Come small. Be in a nice introverted place. After that, you know, it's a big ask on the back body. You're asking your whole posterior chain to lift you up. So it's like locust, but you don't have the access, you know, to using your arms going back into extension to help you. You've got your arms doing other things, you know, doing work, bearing weight. So a lot of this is about finding the sweet spot of balance. Like for me, to be honest, that last mayurasana, I felt a lot lower to the floor than I usually would. So if I was going to have another few goes, I would probably slightly change my entry into it. So, you know, be aware of, okay, well, how is it feeling? Can I get my feet off the floor, or do my feet come off the floor and then my head goes to the floor? That's cool. If that's where you're at, then think about, right, what can I change to stop that happening? And that might be blocks under the hands, because then the head can probably go dip a bit while the feet lift. So it's all about playing the seesaw of the balance and having a little bit of being a little bit brave, because when your hands are bound like that, it can feel a bit shitty that you're gonna face plant. And trust me, I have face planted in that pose a lot of times when I was learning it. So yeah, try that a few times, maybe pause the video and keep working at it if it's something you want to work on. And if it's not, leave it behind and just move on. So that being said, we are going to move on. We're going to come into circle wheels. So come to the top of your mat, take your feet wide, come into a low squat. You're super warm for this, so hopefully this will feel like a bit of fun. So lean over to the right and to the left a few times. And then next time you lean to the left, sweep over to the right, plant the hand and sweep the arm up as you lift the hips. And then rebend, push off the right hand, swing the left hand behind you, push up, and then come forward, switching sides, lifting up, and then switching sides. You're nice and open for this after all the prone back bending. So if you want to go for full circles, you'll come up and over. As soon as one hand plants, the other one has to come up to get you back. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck. So just think about it being this 1-2, quick transition. One hand goes down, the other hand is spinning to come up. So take a couple of those full circles if that's what you want to do. Take one more wherever you are, each side. And then come back to the center. Drop your butt to the mat. Draw your knees into the chest. Whew. One last bit of effort, yogis, and then you're out of here. This one was tough. So I'm going to take Urdhva Dhanurasana, full wheel, and I'm going to do it on blocks because it's really been something that I've picked up in my 300 hour, but also it's been really helpful to help me kind of get up and over myself so that I can move through my shoulders more and try and get the shoulders more over the wrists. So if you're like that and you struggle to get the shoulders to kind of go up and back over your wrists, it could be that you need to just lift the feet. So the other thing you could do if you don't have blocks is get near your sofa and put your feet on the sofa. So set yourself up as you normally would, feet on the blocks if you're coming with me. I'm going to skip bridge pose, but you could do bridge pose here if you wanted, and you could do it on the blocks. Like, you're going to get the same sort of benefit. But we are super warm and I kept you for longer than I wanted, so I'm going to go straight into one round of Urdhva Dhanurasana to finish. Feel free to take Setu Bandhasana or maybe a supported bridge where the feet are on the floor and you've got one block under the sacrum. Okay, set yourself up. Hands alongside the head, fingers pointing back. Take an inhale, flatten the spine to the mat, and exhale, you're going to lift up. Keep pressing the ground away through the feet and through the hands. Keep pressing your chest through your arms. So for me, that's towards the window. And then whenever you've had enough, chin to chest, down onto the shoulders. Whew, release the hands. Come off your blocks. Nice. Draw your knees into the chest. Kind of take everything the other way for a moment. And in fact, let's come into a nice soft plow pose. So hands alongside you. Let the legs come up and over and keep a bend in the knees here. We don't want to do anything too crazy. We want to kind of take the spine in the, ignore me while I fix my t-shirt. We kind of want to just take the spine in the opposite direction. So just allowing it to kind of flex rather than hyperextend. Just relax here. Might be nice to put a blanket under your shoulders just to get your hips up and over you a bit more. Exactly the same principle as the feet under the blocks, really, or blocks under the feet, I should say. If you want to straighten the legs and stretch them out, you can. Shavasana, Plow Pose. And then slowly with control, bring yourself all the way onto your back. You are done, yogi. Good job. Take whatever Shavasana is going to feel nice to you. It might feel nice to sit, take soles of the feet together, knees wide in Supta Baddha Konasana. Just to kind of take the hips into a gentle extension. External rotation. Or it might feel nice to come into a more traditional Shavasana. It's totally your call. Allow yourself to surrender. Allow all of the practice energy to find a home in your body, in your bones, in your joints, in your muscles, and allow it to really be at one there. Bubble away. Like a really nice broth on a cold winter day that you come into. And it's just bubbling on the stove with all of the goodness. Visualize that that is your energy now finding places within your body to nourish it with goodness. And allow yourself to surrender into your Shavasana. This is where I will leave you, or we will leave you. As always, it's an absolute privilege to practice with you here on YouTube. Until we meet on the mat again, take care. Thank you.